Hey, what's going on, guys? Things are moving quickly, and 2025 is set to be another big year. And so, as we sort of wrap up and reflect on this past year, I thought I would share with you a bit of what I'm sensing as we look ahead to the new year so you know what to expect both individually and collectively. I think this year has been a difficult one for a lot of people. People had a lot of health scares, financial hardships, relationship changes, career changes, abrupt endings, and we will talk a bit more later about the purpose behind these things, but I felt this too. To me, this felt like a year of deep healing and inner work. It felt slow in a lot of ways, kind of like we were dragging our feet through the mud a lot of the time. It felt like we sort of had one foot still in the old and one foot in the new. Like a lot of us had this vision of the new life that we wanted, the future we desire, but we were still dealing with all of the old stuff that's been holding us back. And so it's almost like we were asked to become a new person, the person that we need to be in order to move forward and live the life that we truly desire, to sort of set ourselves up for the future in a big way. And it's a frustrating process. You feel stuck, you feel tired, unmotivated, triggered. All of your wounds and your triggers come up. But what we are doing is we are setting ourselves up for the future in a really, really big way. We're sort of laying the groundwork so that we can explode onto the scene in the coming years. And so maybe you had this sense that life is preparing you for something really big, but you don't really know what that is yet. You kind of heard the call way off in the distance, but in order to step into that life and embody that life and hold that kind of success, abundance, bigness, you had to become a fundamentally different person this year. And so if this sounds like you, I'd love for you to share your experience down in the comments below. Let me know your biggest takeaway from 2024 and what you're most looking forward to in 2025. And if you do enjoy this video, I'd really appreciate if you can give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. It really helps me out. And if you are looking for one-on-one coaching, one-on-one guidance going into this new year, now is a great time to make that commitment to yourself and secure your spot. So I do have openings available. I'll put the link in the description down below for more information. All right, so let's jump in. Now, this, I guess, energetic reading, if you will, I've broken it up into a few different themes, just to make things easier. And now this first one, it may seem a little bleak, but we are going to get to the good stuff, the empowering stuff, I promise. And number one is big changes and forceful awakenings. Now, and I think a lot of people are sensing this bigger and bigger energetic split that is now occurring on Earth. It's becoming glaringly obvious who has been doing the inner work and who hasn't, who is taking care of their health and who is not, who is living from a place of fear and disempowerment and who is living from a place of love and empowerment. And this is only going to increase this year. For the collective, 2025 may be a more uncertain and more tumultuous year than this past year. Because what life is doing is it's giving people feedback. Life is saying to people, if you don't wake up now, you're going to be left behind in the coming years. And the way you're living right now is not sustainable and it's not beneficial for you or the people around you. And so usually the way this works is life will give you a gentle tap first. It'll kind of whisper in your ear, tap you gently, and if you're stubborn like me, you don't listen. And this is when life starts to speak louder and louder. It starts yelling and screaming and shaking you until pretty soon it just straight up punches you in the face. And so these are the forceful awakenings that I'm talking about. Forceful awakenings on a global level that's never really been seen before. And this is not a means of punishing anybody for acting in any sort of way. It is coming from a place of the universe's unconditional love. One particular area that I see people having these forceful awakenings is health, or mental health would be included in that. People are going to really start waking up to how damaging our modern diet and our modern lifestyle is to our well-being. It may take a big health scare or a health crisis for those who have really been neglecting their health, but this is no reason to fear. We've all been through this, and I can tell you that everybody comes out of this on the other side a much better person than they were before, much more healthy, much more happy. The other area that I see that's going to really be highlighted is the area of institutionalized religion. Many people are and will continue awakening to the reality that religion in its current form, and this is not to say that it's all bad, I'm not trying to bash religion in any sort of way, but people are awakening to the fact that it's based largely upon the premise of fear and control, because this is how it was structured and designed at its inception. And much of this awakening, I think, will be attributed to this topic of disclosure and UFOs. As humanity becomes aware of the extraterrestrial and the interdimensional presence here on Earth, many people will start to ask questions and sort of connect the dots to our society and our history. They're going to start to say, hang on a minute, if my government, if my religious authorities have known about this for 75 to 100 years at the least, and they hid it from us, then why should we trust them? What else are they deceiving us about? Now, before you say anything, because I know what you're thinking, this is super negative. This is not what I came here for you to tell me. Here's the good news, is that it doesn't have to play out this way for you. Because if you're watching this, I'm willing to bet that you are probably someone who has been doing the inner work, who has been striving to consciously better themselves over these past few years. And if so, this could be the big year that you've been waiting for, the big breakthrough, which leads us into our next theme, which is opportunities to step up. Because let's face it, when things get chaotic on a global scale, people scramble to find someone or something that can help them make sense of the chaos. And what this means is that there is this great opportunity, this opening for you to step onto the scene and be a shining light for other people, to step into a position of leadership. And this can be simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. It could be as simple as organizing a get-together or a monthly dinner with your coworkers. You don't need to go out and save the world and establish a business that's going to end world hunger. It can be small things, impacts you are making in your individual circle. Now, this is also a reminder for you to stay true to yourself and to not take things too personally, because many people around you are going to be having the experience of having the rug pulled out from under their feet. And when this happens, people act in strange ways. I know I did. It's very confusing. It's very disorienting. You realize that I've been lied to, and so you become very skeptical, like, who else is lying to me? Can I trust anybody? And a lot of times this comes out as rage or anger or moodiness. People are going to project their own stuff, their own wounds and emotional baggage onto you. And so you may find yourself triggering other people. And this is all fine and good. This is all part of the process. But when these people are ready, when they have gone through this phase of distrust and anger, when they're ready to hear truth, they will come to you, because you are going to stick out like a sore thumb as someone in their life that they can trust, somebody who is aware and awakened. And so they're going to come and they're going to ask you questions. They're going to ask for advice. And this is when you can lovingly, gently kind of share what you know, what you've learned, and what you have experienced, and be that guiding presence for other people. And so the important thing to know about this year is that the people who are open and receptive to change are the ones who are really going to thrive and find this process more easy and effortless. The people who cling to the old ways of doing and thinking are the ones who are going to have some very harsh and rude awakenings. And so this brings us to number 3, which is a quickening of the pace. From here on out, things are only going to continue moving faster and faster on a global level and a personal level. It's like the snowball is already in motion, it's rolling down the mountain, and it's only going to get faster and faster. And yes, this means that a lot of shocking truths are going to be revealed to the public on a global level at an almost uncomfortable pace. But this also means that in your personal life, you can create and manifest things very, very quickly, and that things can turn out way better than you could have even imagined. And so the business that would have taken years in the past could get off the ground and thriving in a matter of months. You can get that one phone call that changes everything. And so in just a couple months, a few weeks, our lives can be almost unrecognizable. And so, if we are deliberate about where we are placing our energy and our intention, we can really, really find ourselves thriving in this time. And so, be open to it. Just accept that it's a possibility for you, and that's all you really need to do. You don't need to control and force and outdo and overwork. It's more about letting it happen, because these things, they were meant for you. This is your destiny, if you will. And so, number 4 is taking your power back. Many of us, for many years, have felt kind of trapped and smothered, like we were living a life that wasn't really ours, a life that wasn't what our heart desired. It wasn't true to ourselves. It wasn't really what we wanted to be doing. And we felt like we were kind of going through the motions, just paying the bills mindlessly, fulfilling our obligations, doing things so that we don't let other people down and disappoint them. But deep down, I think that we all felt this sort of lack of freedom. And it leads to this sort of festering resentment. And this year is a great year to change all of that. This is a year when a lot of us are going to decide, you know what, the life that I've been living is not the life that I want, and I'm not going to put up with it anymore. And we are going to be presented, if we're open to them, we're going to be presented with new opportunities and new inspiration to step out of our comfort zone and do the things that probably scare us, but the things that will really bring us a deep sense of fulfillment on a soul level. And so I couldn't be more excited for this, and I'm excited to see what this looks like for you in your life, because whatever you choose to do, it is going to be for the betterment of humanity. The world is a better place when you are shining, when you are lit up with passion and excitement. And so this year, there is no more sitting around. It is go time. It is sort of all hands on deck, if you will. It's going to get crazy for a lot of people. It may be difficult, but humanity needs you. Humanity needs leaders who are going to step up, not corrupt rulers, but true, genuine, authentic leaders. And if you are watching this, I'm talking to you. And so if you feel like you've been forced to kind of sit around in the background for the past few years, like you didn't really know what you're passionate about, you didn't really fit in, you didn't understand the mundane and ordinary affairs of life that we go through as human beings, but you've been doing the inner work all this time to transform and better yourself, then this could very well be your year. If you're willing to take that leap and put yourself out there, to speak your truth, to go for it, to ask for the things that your heart truly desires, it's going to be a great year for you. And so I also think it's worth mentioning that it's important to take practical steps to be prepared. Have a few weeks of food, of clean water, have a plan, have the tools or the weapons to protect yourself, and more importantly, the skill set to do so. I'm not trying to scare you. This doesn't mean we are living from a place of fear. It just means we're taking the steps that we have to take in order to be prepared for ourselves, for our family, because there are many people, many very evil and corrupt people who are in positions of power who are panicking right now because they know their time is up. It is over. The people are catching on to their games. There are individuals who are being elected now into positions of power who are on the team of humanity. And so these people who are interested only in the pursuit of power and their own self-gain, they will do everything they can to drag the world into chaos to ensure that everybody goes down with them. And so all cards are on the table. I don't think anybody knows exactly how this is going to play out, but it's going to be exciting. It should be a wild ride. I always think, how cool is this that we get to experience this excitement and this adventure together. And so as you celebrate this holiday season, remember that we have a lot to be excited for. Maybe you haven't been feeling that Christmas holiday spirit. I always think that as I grow older, Christmas feels less and less like Christmas. It's not like when I was a kid and I would go to the shopping malls with my mom, and the whole month of December felt like that eager anticipation for Christmas Day, that excitement. And so if you feel like you don't have anything to celebrate in your life right now, if 2024 was a difficult year, like it kind of slapped you upside the head a little bit, know that things are going to get better. And this holiday season, I hope you will celebrate everything that lies ahead for us. And so the good things that are destined to come into your life, they will. And so be open to that this year. There are so many opportunities, so many responsibilities and good things that are just waiting for you to accept them so you could steward them and really bear fruit in your life. And so celebrate our future together as this rapidly growing and evolving humanity. So I hope this message finds you well. Let me know if it landed for you. I'd love to know your thoughts. Share them down below for any more intuitive people. Let me know what you have been sensing and what you have been reading into. Love to hear from you guys. And so I'm just wishing you the brightest holiday season, and I'll see you guys soon.